So, without further ado, I want to welcome Councilmember Sally Bagshaw.
Thank you, Vicki. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for riding your bike this morning. For many of us, it's a regular thing. I live downtown, and for anybody who has ears, you know I have my e-bike over there that I've had 5 years, and what a difference that is making. It was a long time where my Cannondale was sitting in the garage because I couldn't get up Cherry Street anymore. So I want to say thank you for a couple of things. First of all, the fact that you are out here this morning bringing visibility to what we're trying to do, which is to create this network that is actually a network. My personal unfavorite is where we were all standing this morning. You ride down you ride down 4th to Spring Street, and then the 4th Avenue bike lane just disappears. And I call it the good luck school of bicycle riding from that point forward. So we've been calling on SDOT to move forward with this. You know, this idea of the period of maximum constraint. We know it's going to be hard, but getting those of us who ride our bikes out of cars and onto our bikes so that we can be safe and really have that connection is what it's all about. Councilmember Rob Johnson, thank you for the work that you've been doing on our transportation committee, supporting Cascade Bicycle Club, and I do want to say thank you to Cascade. All of you have made such a difference. But Wayback Machine to 7 years ago. Think about, even though it's slower than molasses, how far we have come in this city. 7 years ago, I hadn't even heard of neighborhood Greenways. And I think Gordon Bedelford is around here somewhere. Gordon, wherever you are. But I went to Portland and I saw what they were doing there. And then same summer, I got a chance to go to Copenhagen and see what they're doing there. And I came back saying, this is a complete no-brainer. We need the separated places for bikes, for pedestrians, safe from cars. Yes, we need transportation options, but we're part of the option. So again, you guys are doing exactly the right thing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for riding your bike visibly and be safe. And remember, it's my buddy Michael Maddox over here that was hit by a car in a bike lane just a few weeks ago, and we want to make this safe for all of us. None of us want to have to go through what Michael's had to go through. So anyway, blessings on you all. Thanks for being here this morning.
Hi everyone. First of all, can you come in a little closer? Get comfortable here. My name is Tamara Schmautz. I'm with Cascade. Thank you for coming out to support Seattle's basic bike network, which is hard to say. I'm a daily bike commuter, and I figure I've pedaled some 20,000 miles from West Seattle to South Lake Union and home again over the past 8 years. And like Sally said, there's been a lot of improvement, but we have a lot of improvement to go. Many of the advantages of providing safe and connected bike networks into and throughout downtown Seattle are obvious. What might not be as obvious is how the bike network can address diversity and social equity issues. By helping make bike transportation mainstream, protected lanes and connected networks make biking safer and more accessible for more people. They lower household transportation costs, broaden individual autonomy, and increase mobility and access to low and no-car households. Statistics show that people of color are disproportionately at risk while on bikes. The CDC has reported that Latino bicycle riders are 23% more likely to be involved in a fatal accident on a bicycle than a white rider, and African Americans 30% more likely. Safer bike infrastructure helps address this urgent issue. Bicycling also helps address public health issues. Normalizing bike transportation can help people who are part of demographics that disproportionately struggle with health issues such as high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, and respiratory illness. Bicycling helps address some of these issues by improving the health of those who bicycle regularly, and I'm an example of that. I started riding in earnest about 8 years ago, and I lost 20 pounds in my first year by doing nothing except for eating more and bicycling. So it can really affect your health. Safe and connected networks of protected bike lanes are tools that can increase diversity of ridership and make Seattle more equitable. But in the end, they're only tools. People do the work. Let's make sure our city council and Mayor Durkin know that the basic bike network is priority for Seattle. The time is now. We can't wait.
Good morning. Happy Bike Everywhere Day. Isn't this the best day of the year? My name is Casey Gifford. I'm co-chair of the Seattle Bicycle Advisory Board. And cities across the United States and around the world, from Vancouver, BC, to Tokyo, Japan, to Portland, Oregon, to Oslo, Norway, are seeing their ridership and safety increase as they build out their connected bike networks. And I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that those cities didn't wait until they had surplus budget and nothing else to spend it on, until they had unanimous support from all of their residents, until their cars went away and they had ample right-of-way to provide to bikes. Being a leader means that you need to do what is right for your city to make it livable, sustainable, equitable, and ready for growth. And building a city that is centered around cars rather than focusing on people is not going to get you there. Here in Seattle, we've had success with the 2nd Avenue protected bike lane. The extension there resulted in nearly a 40% increase in the number of people biking on that street. It's great. But we can't continue to build our network in bits and pieces and at a snail's pace. We need a safe, connected bike network now. So, on behalf of the Seattle Bicycle Advisory Board, it is our role to advise Mayor Durkin, Seattle City Council, and Seattle Department of Transportation. And I don't know how much more we can tell you that we want and need a protected, connected bike network today. All right, I'm going to start by just having everyone take 5 giant steps forward. I want you very close. Great. Even you in the back. I see you. Come on forward. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Clara Cantor and I'm a community organizer for Seattle Neighborhood Greenways. We are a volunteer-led organization. We've been around since 2011 and we advocate for bicycle and walking infrastructure. Come by our blue tent in the back there and say hello if you have never heard of us before.
Or if you have.
I also commute by bicycle, and I can say from personal experience, you know, some of these bike lanes downtown are a delight to bike on. They are pleasant, I feel safe, I feel protected, and on some of the streets down here, that is absolutely not the case. And, you know, all of us have had way too many close calls and crashes and collisions. Just 2 days ago, I had a very close call on Pine Street coming down on my morning commute. We're gonna actually do all this together. So I want everyone here to raise your hand if you had a close call or a crash or a collision on your way here this morning. We have hands. That's terrible. Now keep those hands up. What about if you had a crash or a collision or a close call on your bike this week? What about this month? Keep them up. And what about this year? Look around you. That is way too many hands. Okay, now I want everyone to put their hands down. How many of you have a friend or loved one that would ride their bicycle to get around if they felt safer? Does everyone see that? Look around. Safety is the #1 reason why people in Seattle don't bike more often. And if we create the basic bike network and we build it out and create this safe infrastructure for people, our ridership will increase by double. So I want to thank everyone for being here, for showing your support. I want to thank everyone who volunteered this morning, coming down in their cargo bikes to help us load in without a car. I want everyone to thank everyone who's been emailing their representatives, who's been sending in their photos. We have these great pictures and quotes hanging around here. Check them out if you haven't. I also want to send a huge thank you to Sally Bagshaw for being here today. We really depend on our elected leaders. We need them. We are here standing today in front of City Hall, beneath our City Council and Mayor's offices. And I want the entire City Council and Mayor Durkin to know that if they're willing to be bold
and build out the basic bike work now, we definitely have their back.
Yes, we do.
All right, now I want everyone to end this with a chant. I know this is awkward in Seattle, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna chant "Build It Now" on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Build it now! Build it now! Build it now! Build